What's up, gang? I'm Eric Harris, and welcome back to my Friday the 13th franchise review. I'm sorry I was gone so long. I had technical difficulties, but I missed you guys. Anyway, moving on in our franchise review. Coming up next, Jason Lives from 1986.
They thought the nightmare was dead and buried. They were wrong. Jason lives.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
Starts August 1st at a Famous Players and other theaters near you. Check local listings.
Jason Lives, released in 1986, was directed by Tom McLoughlin. Tommy, previously played by John Shepard, and is now being played by Tom Matthews, who you probably recognize from Return of the Living Dead, decides, I need to go and make sure Jason's dead. I'm going to dig up his grave and fucking pour gas on him and burn him and, cremate him, make sure he's just nothing but ashes. I need to know that he's dead, I guess so he'll have peace of mind or whatever. And then he has one of his infamous flip outs and he grabs like a wrought iron fence post and starts stabbing Jason, and fucking lightning strikes that shit and brings Jason back to life. Now, this is the part that is simultaneously very amusing, but it's so extraordinarily fucking frustrating to me, is that, Tommy, dude, you defeated Jason a long-ass time ago. You were a little kid then. You're like 26 now. He's been dead for like 13 years. Fucking leave it be. And he's going to go and cremate Jason, even though they mentioned he was probably cremated in number 5.
Jason Voorhees is dead. His body was cremated. He's nothing but a handful of ash.
But if he was cremated, why is there a grave now in number 6? But you know what? Who gives a fuck what number 5 had to say? So anyway, like, you won, man. You killed Jason. You won. You opened up the casket and you could even look at him and see that he was rotting, decomposing. He's got maggots and shit. He's unrecognizable. He's dead. You won. Fucking leave it be. The whole thing. All these people that die in this movie, that's fucking your fault, Tommy. I hope you can live with yourself. Because you brought his ass back to life. And you brought his mask too? What the fuck? Who does that? Anyway, so immediately after bringing Jason back to life and getting his friend killed like a fucking asshole that Tommy is in this movie, he runs to town. I guess they renamed Crystal Lake to, what is it? Evergreen? Green Forest? Forest Hills? I don't fucking know. It's some generic name like that. Forest Green, I think is what it's called. Anyway, he goes and tells the world's most useless fucking sheriff that Jason is back. And of course, immediately this asshole of a fucking sheriff is like, you're crazy. I'm locking your ass up. This guy really does suck. He fucking sucks hard. This is one of those characters that it's really frustrating if you could just reach into the TV and strangle him and be like, what the fuck? Because he doesn't believe anybody about fucking anything. Tommy comes and tells him Jason's coming back. Okay, sure. That's a little far-fetched, whatever. Throw his ass in the cell. And then his own daughter and her friends come in and say, some of the head counselors haven't shown up yet. And he's like, my deputies don't have time for that. I don't have time to investigate anything. And he sits down at his desk. What an asshole. And then when they actually do discover, like, there's dead bodies all over the place, again, no investigation of any kind, no searching for clues, no fucking putting pieces of the puzzle together to figure something out. He's just automatically, it's fucking Tommy, he's killing people. So, fuck this sheriff. I'm glad that he gets his back broke like a little bitch. Moving on with my plot explanation, these counselors are opening up what used to be called Camp Crystal Lake and is now whatever the fuck it's called now. Come on, man. You're still trying to open this camp? Nothing good happens at this fucking camp. Stop opening the camp. The hell's wrong with you guys? It's like, damn. There's some frustrating characters in this movie. Makes you just want to start slapping a mofo. But anyway, it is interesting to state that I think this is the one and maybe the only Friday the 13th where there's actual little kids at the camp. Wow, who would have thought? Little kids at a camp. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. That's a nice twist. That's something we hadn't seen before. Fucking actual kids at the camp. But anyway, part 6 brought Jason back after, you know, the negative backlash from the copycat killer in part 5. You know, they like, look, we're gonna keep making these movies, but you fucking better bring Jason back because these fans were pissed. And in addition to bringing Jason back, Tom McLoughlin, I think, did a really good job of kind of reinvigorating the series with bringing new elements to the movie. It's not just a slasher anymore. It's not just horror. They've got lots of humor elements in there. You got even some slapstick going on with like the girl falling all over the RV. And then you got your action sequences like with the stunt with the RV flipping over and then Jason standing on top looking like a total badass. You got car chases, like shootouts, fist fights and shit. The scene at the end where Tommy's battling Jason on the lake with fire all over the place. They really amped up a lot of elements that were either not present in any of the other movies or were very, you know, minimal. But they amped all of it up. They really put in a lot of effort to make this an above average Friday the 13th. And I think they succeeded. It's definitely one of the favorites for most fans, and for me, after watching it numerous times, like I've seen it my whole life, I've been watching the movie my whole life, but watching it now, specifically to do this review and really paying attention to the details, I gotta give it up to Tom McLoughlin for actually trying to raise the bar on this series and bring some new stuff to the movie. So, excellent, man. What else is there to say about part 6? Jason's back, and if you didn't think that he was a zombie before, like I just choose to always believe he's been dead since he drowned in the lake. If you didn't think he was a zombie before, he fucking definitely is now. His head's all gross and black and slimy and shit. He's definitely a zombie at this point. Continuing like the tradition that was started in Friday 4 with, you know, Lion and Love is a Lie. Part 5, we had Pseudo Echo and his eyes. And in part 6, we have Alice Cooper, and he's back, the man behind the mask. It's unfortunate that they didn't do this with every single one. I would have loved a kick-ass fucking song with every Friday, but they only did it with a few of them, and at least we got 3 good, badass songs with 3 Fridays in a row. Alice Cooper, I believe he contributed more than one song, 2 or 3, but Behind the Mask was specifically written for Friday, part 6. So, let me get into my one complaint about this movie, because I think it's really good. It's a really good Friday. It's one of the better entries in the series after, you know, the original 4. My only complaint is it's a bit scattered. It's all over the place because you got Tommy and Megan, you know, we're following their little their love relationship going on that's blooming, and the fact that they're trying to defeat Jason. And then we got like Tommy and the sheriff, you know, butting heads. And then you keep going back to the counselors at the camp, who we barely ever get to know at all. It's kind of a shame. And I think that's what my biggest complaint is, because in the original movies, you were introduced to about 7 or 8 of these characters at the camp, and then you would get to know them throughout the whole movie. And that continued in the second one as well. You really got to know the characters before they were offed. And then as like the series went on, by number 5, it was getting scattered. There you just get introduced to 2 people that would die immediately that had nothing to do with anything. And that kind of continues in part 6 a little bit because the studio requested more kills. So then you have scenes where it's like, now there's 2 couple having a picnic at night and they get killed. It's like all over the fucking place. I would really have liked to have gotten to know the actual counselors at the camp. But I guess this is Tommy's movie, and that's why, you know, it's centered around him. But it's just like, I wish it was a little bit more focused. Like, I wish I was more focused right now trying to explain this. But that's my only complaint. Otherwise, everything is actually really top-notch in this movie. When I was originally thinking about what should I rate it, I wanted to say 3 3/4 stars. But after really thinking about everything that was put into this movie to make it a more interesting installment in the series, I'm going to bump it up to 4 because I think they did a pretty darn good job for the 5th sequel in a fucking franchise. Not bad. 4 out of 5 stars. Check it out, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully it won't take too long this time. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Hello guys, I'm back. I'm Eric Harrison. Welcome to our Friday the 13th franchise review. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. I had technical difficulties, but I fucking missed you so much. I missed... Come here, give me kisses. Come on. Okay, let me just start this over. That was creepy. The fuck was that shit? Fucking ingenious.